Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I wanted to talk to you about a relationship that is balanced, or how you will find a balanced relationship. So let's jump in. First thing you got to understand in a relationship, if you have a desire, then you must commit to the desire. So let's be real, if you're not going to commit, then somebody else will. And that's just a fact. So that's kind of first things first as far as establishing terms for a relationship. It's like rule 101. And a lot of times people get that twisted. But typically what you'll find in a relationship that is going to be healthy, we're talking about two healthy individuals, or generally healthy individuals, you're going to find they will meet and they will have a desire and they will draw in closer to one another. And as they draw in closer to one another, then the relationship will begin. As the relationship begins, you will have a desire to show equal reciprocity, which is what you give into it is what you get back. The counterpart will give you the same energy that you give them. And that's to say that I respect you, I care about you, and I desire you. If the desire is there, but there's not enough commitment, then you will find the runner and the chaser situation. So what you will find is they will maybe come together with equal reciprocity to start the relationship or to begin a relationship. Generally, it's one pursuing the other more, and that's usually the one that becomes the chaser. So what occurs is they will date for a while, and they may give equal reciprocity in the beginning, but typically, like I said, the chaser, or the one that becomes the chaser, would be the one that gives a little bit more in the very beginning because they have the desire and the commitment. The other, the one who becomes the runner, may not have, they may have the desire but not the commitment, and it could be for several reasons, but they may get together, and then what you will find is negative reciprocity will occur. They could be a match. They could be a match that could work, that could match up well for each other, non-toxic. But what you'll find is they were maybe not ready for the relationship. They didn't expect it to work out quite like that. They also can be the type to where they never expect it to work, but they could be, to some degree, a non-toxic individual. They just never had somebody operate correctly for them after the breakup. So sometimes it's kind of key, but these would be natural ways that would occur. It wouldn't be something planned, because something planned is fake. So it wouldn't be something planned. It would just be in its natural order of things. What you'll find is the one that's given negative reciprocity are either uncomfortable because they're not used to having relationships, or they didn't expect it to last, to be a good relationship or a potentially good relationship. It may just be unexpected, and they may feel uncomfortable about it. Maybe they're not even ready for a relationship that's lasting. As much as they may desire it, they don't have the commitment. Without the commitment, they will leave the relationship, and on the back end of the relationship give negative reciprocity. And as they leave, there'll be a runner, and the person that gave a little bit more, the one that gave a little bit more energy to the relationship, the chaser, the runner will leave and the chaser will follow, because the chaser will have seen the future, or the ability that it could work. It could work very well if both parties in the couple, if the counterpart were to have the desire and the commitment. So the runner will run and the chaser will follow. But in a healthy relationship, the chaser will quit quite quickly, knowing that's not healthy for anybody, and it's not a good look. It's not necessary because you're worth more than that. And you don't want to be with somebody who runs away. So they will stop. But they may chase for a short period of time because they want to not have any regrets. So out of not wanting to have regret, they may chase for a short period of time, just maybe a week or a few days. Not like terribly or horribly, but this is what you may find, because they want to show the individual that they truly do have the desire and the commitment. They're committed to the relationship. But because the individual that gave the negative reciprocity doesn't show any more commitment than they had before, or they may show even less, they will turn them down. And in a healthy relationship, the individual will see that. So they will take it for what it is and leave. But in the case of the runner, chances are they've run from a lot of relationships, and they may be used to the chaser not only chasing after them, but continuing to chase until they become bothersome, or what they used to call a bugaboo. Keep bugging and bugging and bugging is what it would turn into. And that's where you're getting into toxicity, but they may be used to that. And they may like it a little bit, but it just makes them desire that counterpart even less and less, because it's like a commodity that is easy to attain, and a commodity that's easy to attain is not very well desired. It's not an exclusive. It's something that's easy. Yeah, it's a commodity, but it's easy. You can pick it up at any store. It's on every shelf in any store. But an exclusive is the one who doesn't chase. Typically, the one that chases and continues to chase, the bugaboo type, is going to be thirsty. And they're going to put them on a high pedestal, a pedestal that is going to make themselves not desirable as they continue to serve, to pamper, and to validate everything in this counterpart's life. And that runner could always go back to the chaser whenever they like. And when they do, the desire doesn't last long, because the runner will supply all of their wants and needs. And they will never give them any type of reality to life. They'll always, the chaser almost does something similar to what a narcissist would do. They build a false reality as well. And the false reality is to pamper them. And this may be what their parents did to the runner. And this is how the runner became the runner, as they may have been pampered in childhood at home. They may or may not be a narcissist, but I'm saying in a situation where they're not a narcissist. So when the chaser is so thirsty that they always take care of, pamper, and serve them, they worship them. And when you worship somebody like that, and you pamper them, and you validate them all the time, you build an illusion for you and for them. You become their thirsty servant that is going to worship them and serve them. And the runner doesn't see reality for the way they need to, and probably the way they want to. It may or may not be offensive to the runner, or it may in the very beginning, but the fact of the matter is everybody wants to see the world from reality standpoint, because when you build an illusion, either to pamper and take care of somebody, or as the narcissist to fake who they are and build an illusion about their false self, both of those are not in built-in reality, so they're fake, they're fantasies. The narcissist is lying about who they are, but in the runner-chaser situation, in a somewhat healthy possible relationship, when the chaser begins to pamper and worship the runner, they make themselves less desirable and less of an exclusive. They are building an illusion the runner is always right, they're never wrong, and that life's going to be easy. Any turmoil that you go through, the chaser is going to take care of it for you. Any problems that occur in your life, the chaser is going to take care of it. Any money problems, any issues that come up, they always know, and it's predictable that the chaser is going to take care of it. And again, just like as children and families of, say, a golden child, they always got pampered and all the decisions were made for them. But truly, that's not what people really want in a relationship. For balance, you have to deal with your own ups and downs, your own woes, your own defeats, and your own victories. The other individual is not going to take care of all your issues, but they will be beside you to support you. They won't sabotage you, and they won't compete with you, but they will be your greatest cheerleader. They generally would want, in a balanced relationship, you really want your counterpart to deal with any issues that are going on in their own life, but you're always there to support them. And sometimes you will invest into, you will always be there as their investor, but you may have to help them from time to time. But you don't want to have to always take care of their problems and their issues. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't make the runner stronger. So this is something that can occur with the runner chaser. An unbalanced chaser would be somebody who is always there for them, and they chase them until they annoy them. But when the runner is in between relationships, they will go back to the chaser, because the chaser is always there. They're thirsty for them. They'll do anything for them. They'll pamper them, take care of them. They'll solve all their problems. Where the runner-chaser thing truly is balance is where when the runner runs, the chaser may chase for a week or not chase at all is preferable. Anytime somebody pulls back, you pull back 3 times the amount and you leave it alone. That's the best case scenario. But in the case of the other situation, the chaser won't chase, not like the other ones have in the runner's past, and they will have time apart, and the runner will have time to process the situation that the chaser is just not coming back, and they will process their desires for that chaser and invest a little bit more involvement in from afar trying to research. They will research that individual, or just at least keep an eye on that individual. They may date around, but if that desire still sticks close to their heart, and that chaser quit chasing, so they never really chased for very long, but that was the role they were in. That individual, if they start to have increased desire for that individual, if the runner has increased desire for that other individual that may have been a chaser for just a short time, but didn't get equal reciprocity, so they left the situation because it wasn't worth it to them. They weren't really a chaser. They actually just gave a little too much in the beginning and then decided it's not worth it because the other person doesn't desire them like they desired the individual. They just chased a little while in the very beginning because they didn't want to have a regret. They wanted to know they gave it their all, or they gave it enough. And that's what they did. But when the individual who may have chased for a short time leaves, or they both go their separate ways, and they don't bother the individual. The individual, if they do have increased desire for that individual, they may find they can't live without them, and they may research them or look into them, from afar. And that desire may get to a point to where they have to have them, and they will start to chase the one that was given a little bit more reciprocity when they first started dating. In the original situation, who became the chaser is now not necessarily the runner, but they've kind of gotten over it. And the runner never got over it. They just expected the chaser to chase and to continue to chase like all the rest did. But when the chaser is not built that way, they know that they're an exclusive. They're not going to do that. The runner is kind of having to look at it from another point of view. But see, the one that doesn't chase is the one that gives the typical runner an opportunity to see the world from reality's point of view. And they're not going to pamper them. They're not going to, feed them, worship them. Maybe they did in the very beginning, because I think every situation has some sort of a love bomb to it, whether they're toxic or non-toxic. There is an infatuation to every type of relationship in the very beginning. There's some extra energy there sometimes. But an individual that knows they're an exclusive, and they generally get over it and they move on. It may have been harder if you went back and forth with them for a while, but if you didn't, you get over it. But then the runner starts to chase you and start to try to inquire more about you. And so then there's a dilemma and a situation where you have the ability to come together again, but this time giving equal reciprocity and looking at reality for what it is from both sides, and there is no illusion, there's no fantasy, and everything can come together balanced. Thank you for watching.